I am from a film background family, so my first film was in Tamil. I started with Tamil, I did Telugu, I did Kannada. Then finally, Vinyan sir saw a picture of me in a Kannada magazine. That is when he came in search of me to Tirchi when I was shooting for a Tamil film, and he said, "You have a very Malayali face. The look is very, the authentic Malayali girl type. So I want you to play the role of, Yakshi in this film." And that is when he narrated this story, and I found it very interesting. And Malyalathle, horror is a genre which is celebrated, and I thought that I should give a try because I have been playing a college girl role and urban girl, but to tone down that and come to a very homely get up and very in Yakshinyanam, she's worn only, the pavade downies. It's a very urban, not an urban, it's a very countryside character, and I had fun playing it. So it was a different makeover for me, and plus it was a new kind of character for me to play. So that is when, I decided I should play that. Nyan actually cinema entry because it was totally out of the blue for me. Sudden being a Kannadiga, people expected me to start off with Kannada. But I think I surprised and shocked a few people when I did a film for. So after that, I never thought that next I will do Tamil. I did Telugu. Then I came to Kannada. And after that I came to Malayalam. So nothing was planned. And I always thought if I get a Malayalam film, I'll do it. And I got a very, very good film, and it's given, Yakshimnyanam has given me one of the best recognitions in South. So even today if I go to Chennai or elsewhere and I say I've done a Vinyan film called Yakshimnyanam, they're like, oh yeah, that film, we've heard about it. So it's given me that kind of a lift in my career. Yeah, so that's pretty much it. Ippo vare njan played cheyda oru വളരെ challenging character is Rasya, and one of the films, or a film not just for entertainment but also for a very strong message. And ee padathile my character Rasya, I have two different get-ups in the film, and two extremely they are so different that you cannot connect each other, but there is a connection between them, and how they are connected, and what is the reason for them to have been separated like this. That is what forms Raghuvinte Swantam Rasya. What happened and how did it happen? Why did it happen? That is what Rasya is about. So, ende character one is of a girl who is on the streets of Ernakulam, who has no idea what she's doing, and she's mentally or unstable aayitunda or character, and the other one is extremely or energetic or that lively, bubbly, or a very sweet and a very understanding girl, angane unde or character. So how these two merge in the end forms Rasya. Yakshimnyanam, adu genre different unde genre aa film le. It's a horror story, and with of course love based horror story, but Rasya le, it is an out and out love story. And in Yakshimnyanam, I play a ghost, and she comes back for revenge. There is a lot of there's a lot of that violent rage in her. That's a very mature character. But in this, she plays a very young, she's a very young girl who has who has got a lot of life. She's faced a lot of things at a very young age in her life. So this film, but both the films are entirely different. Leaving the genre, even the making of the film and the kind of script we have made for the film, the kind of screenplay we have made, and the whole entire subject itself is different, and they belong to two different categories on the whole. I like each and every frame of Rasya. It's one of because I know the kind of physical or the kind of mental efforts I have gone through to make each and every frame look like the way it is. But I can't really pick out my favorite, because the whole film, it's like it's one picture. It's one picture. So that whole thing becomes my favorite. But I have one very memorable incident which took place was when I was shooting for the Tambrane song. Vinyan sir said, just stand on the road. We had a very small camera. We were shooting a still camera. So he said, we people should not know that we are shooting because that will create a crowd. Just go stand in between the signal, start dancing on the road. And everybody, I was very, very skeptical, initially. I said, sir, they'll think I'm a real prand here, I'm mad, I'm dancing on the road. He's like, no, you're mentally unstable, you don't know what's happening, you are just dancing on the road. I actually stood in between the signal without anyone knowing it's shooting, and everybody thought I was actually mad. They were yelling at me saying, hey Prandi, avadapo, why are you standing there? And even though it was very embarrassing, I just had to finish my work. That was one very memorable incident which took place. I said, there might be a relation between these two Russias. There might be two different Russias. It might be the same Russia, who's being the other one also. So this is something which I can't tell now until and unless you watch the film. You have to watch the film to get to know who is Raghu, who is Russia, and what is the link between them. Who is this Russia, who is the other Russia, what is the link between that Russia and Raghu, and how this triangle forms the complete story. See, Malayalam is known to us in two ways. One is Malayalam industry is the one which gives one of the best stories in cinema industry. And the other reason we know Malayalam is because of the two superstars who have stood constantly in the industry. And even today, if it's Malayalam, it's the two M's, that is Mohanlal and Mammootty. So, that is how we know Malayalam in Bangalore. And frankly speaking, I wasn't very, because I wasn't very much inclined to Malayalam before. So I didn't know about Vinyan sir initially, but when I got to know that he's coming and meeting me, I did a little research, and then I got to know that he's one of the most celebrated directors here. And when, such a person of his stature coming and meeting me was a great thing. And the first thing he told me when he met me was, there have been heroines who have come to me for offers, but this is the first time I'm coming to you to give you an offer. So that was extremely touching for me, and that was one more reason I couldn't deny the film. I had confidence after the success of Yakshimnyanam that I think I have a foothold here. And after Yakshimnyanam, I got a film with Mamuka. That was a bigger boost for me. That was like icing on the cake. And when I did this, now I'm doing Ponnu Kundura Alurubam, and then I'm going to start another film with Sharat Kumar sir. There were lots of offers which poured in, and I had to be very choosy because I wanted to do nice films which like genuinely entertain the audience, and I wanted to do good stories because when you feel accepted, you want to, when people are giving you so much love, you want to give them something in return in a very good way. So I was waiting for the right opportunity, and now, Russia being an extraordinary subject for me, I agreed to do that. And Ponnu Kundura Alurubam it's a family concept, first time trial for me too, that way. So Angane, it was like nice. I was very happy. I hadn't expected this kind of reception. People have liked the film because it's fast, because it has content, and people have said that Meghana has done something. She's proved that she's an actor in this film. So that's a huge compliment because what more can an actress ask for? Everybody wants to be known as a good actor who can perform on screen. And when audience say that, there are a lot of people who have mailed me, who have put it up on Twitter, on all the blogs. So that's a very nice kind of response I've got. I'm not very language biased. End of the day, if I am comfortable talking in that language, I'm fine with it. And now, I'm comfortable Malayalathle samsarikinam, it's fine for me. It's not that difficult. And so I'm comfortable doing in all the 4 languages because the working style is the same. End of the day, it's cinema. End of the day, it's entertainment. So the only thing different will probably be the language. That's it. I haven't met many actresses in Malayalam. And see, that's because I don't have time to socialize with people here. Neither do I have time to socialize with people in Telugu or Tamil, because once I complete a film, I'm back in Bangalore, and or I'm in some other state doing some other film. So whoever I know is probably the people I've worked with, and maybe I've just met a few people who remain as acquaintances till now. So I haven't met any actors, or actresses. Probably the only Malayalam actress I've met is Sharanya Mohan, because she's working with me in Ponnu Kunduralu Rubam, and she's a very sweet girl. We got along really well, and we had fun shooting for the film. Immediate, after Russia will be my Tamil film, Uyar Through 420. After that will come another Tamil film called Nanda Nandita, and then Kalla Siripalaga in Tamil. I'm working on a Kannada film called Maina. It is not a remake of the Maina, it's a very different story. It's just the title Maina. And in Malayalam, I think my next film ready to release will be Ponnu Kunduralu Rubam. I think Kerala is the only state in India which has preserved its nature. Everywhere you see very, very green aayitundu, there are a lot of trees, and that scenic beauty, it's still there. And every time I come to Kerala, it's very difficult for me to go back. And so many times, I've even stayed for a day or two extra to just, to help myself sink into this beauty. I'm in love with Kerala.